Now about distal radius fracture. Distal radius fracture. Okay. This is the distal radius. This is the distal radius. This is the distal part of the radius. Okay. We will divide fractures of distal radius into two divisions: extra-articular and intra-articular. This one is away from this is the joint. This one is away from the joint. This one is away from the joint. This one is through the joint. Okay, this one is through the joint. So we will divide the distal radius fracture into two divisions: extra-articular and intra-articular. Okay, we have two divisions of the extra-articular. When this distal part is displaced dorsally, and when this distal part is displaced ventrally. When the distal part is displaced dorsally and there is no involvement of the joint, it's called Cooley's fracture. This is very, very important. Okay, again, distal radius fracture. We will divide them into two parts: extra-articular and intra-articular. Extra-articular even displaced dorsally or displaced ventrally. Okay, if displaced dorsally, it's called Cooley's fracture. If displaced ventrally, it's called Smith's fracture. This is the extra-articular. Okay, what about intra-articular? Also, intra-articular may be displaced dorsally and may be displaced ventrally. When displaced dorsally, it's called dorsal Barton. Dorsal Barton fracture. When displaced ventrally, it's called ventral Barton fracture. Now we have four types of distal radius fracture. We will divide them into two. These two extra-articular, these two intra-articular. Okay. The extra-articular may be displaced dorsally and may be displaced ventrally. When displaced dorsally, it's called Cooley's. When displaced ventrally, it's called Smith. Okay, very good. Now about the intra-articular. When displaced dorsally, called dorsal Barton. When displaced ventrally, called ventral Barton. Okay? Okay. So this is Cooley's fracture. Look at this picture here of Cooley's fracture. This is the picture of Cooley's fracture. This is the X-ray of Cooley's fracture. It's extra-articular and displaced dorsally. So it's called Cooley's. It resembles the fork. So it's called dinner fork deformity. This shape, which is in this picture, is called dinner fork deformity. So Cooley's fracture makes a deformity called dinner fork deformity. About Cooley's, it's caused by fall onto outstretched hand. There is three features. It is transverse, okay, extra-articular, proximal to the radiocarpal joint, and dorsally displaced. Okay, about Smith's fracture. Smith's fracture is volar angulation. Volar angulation of this fragment, and also is extra-articular. Okay? Okay. This is about Barton fracture. Barton fracture is a distal radial fracture associated with intra-articular involvement. Okay. Okay. About Holstein Holst-Lewis fracture is a fracture in the distal third of the humerus. This one. It is a fracture in the distal third of the humerus and associated with radial nerve entrapment. These are the two informations I want you to know. Okay, Holst-Lewis is a fracture in the distal 1/3 of the humerus and highly associated with radial nerve entrapment. Okay, okay, and of course radial nerve pulse. Okay, this is the sample. Okay, this is the sample. This is the base of the thumb. And the base of the thumb is fractured, as you can see here. This is called Bennett fracture. So what is Bennett fracture? Bennett fracture is a fracture in the base of the thumb. So up till now we have Cooley's fracture, which is extra-articular, dorsally displaced fracture of distal radius. Number 2, Smith fracture, which is extra-articular, volarly displaced distal radius. Okay, we have Barton fracture, which is an intra-articular fracture of distal radius. Okay, these are the distal radius fractures. Okay. Then Holstein-Lewis fracture, which is distal 1/3 of the humerus and associated with radial nerve entrapment, and the Bennett fracture, which is a fracture in the base of thumb or the base of first metacarpal joint. Okay. Okay. This is about Bennett fracture. Now about Montigia and Gliese. Montigia and Gliese. Okay. Montigia and Gliese. Very, very common. Okay. One has fracture ulna and the other has fracture radius. Okay. How can we differentiate? Montigia has N. Montigia has N. So the bone which is fractured is the bone which has N, which is ulna. Okay, Montigia, the bone which is fractured is ulna. Gliese, there is no N. So we'll go for the bone with no N, which is radius. So Montigia fracture, as we can see in this picture, is a fracture of ulna associated with proximal radio-ulnar joint dislocation. So in Montigia, there is two problems: ulna fracture and proximal radio-ulnar joint dislocation. Okay. In Gliese, there is radial fracture with distal radio-ulnar joint dislocation. These are Gliese and Montigia. Okay? Okay. The last one is both, I think the last? Okay, the last one. The last one of these names is Bot's fracture. What is Bot's fracture? It is any fracture involving the malleoli. Maybe unimalleolar, maybe lateral malleolus only, maybe medial malleolus only, maybe the bimalleolar. Okay, any fracture in the malleoli is called Bot's fracture. Okay.